Hey guys, Achilles here, and in this video we're going to be looking at the orbital cargo drone. So I'm going to just basically jump straight into it. The first port of call you're going to want to make is onto the Empyrion homeworld website, and from there you're going to want to go to the HWS commands, as you can see here. Now, like I'll point out in other tutorial videos, this is kind of the first place you'll want to go before you start using a feature on the server. And it's just because this is kind of where you can get the commands to allow that functionality. So in this tutorial video we're looking at the orbital cargo drone, so I'm just going to quickly run through these commands here, the ones we use, the ones we don't really tend to use these days, because as the game is developing and things, as we're developing, there's not the need for some. So the top one, the OCD question there, you can find all the information about the OCD either on the HWS Connect or on the guide itself. So it's not really something it doesn't show you enough information in game these days. The most crucial ones we're going to look at is the OCD get and put commands, and I will run through all of those commands in game, so I won't talk too much about them. The only other ones that we won't be using in game, so I'll just talk about now quickly, is the OCD info. Like it says there, shows the current level and slot count of your orbital cargo drone, and the OCD buy. If you would like to upgrade your orbital cargo drone, that's the command you use. So yeah, that's basically the commands you're going to want to use for the OCD. Get familiar with them again before you jump in, but like I said, I'm going to run through them now and show you in game. Okay guys, so before I jump into game and show you how to use the commands in game, I'll show you on the HWS Connect just kind of some crucial bits of information that will help you along the way. A lot of it will make more sense when I show you in game, but like you would have seen in the HWS Connect kind of overview video of what it is, this and many other videos that are listed below will go into more detail about all these features here. So the first one we look at obviously is the orbital cargo drone, so we'll jump in there straight away. And this green tab here, which is orbital cargo drone information. Now this is kind of, it holds all the most crucial bits of information for people to kind of to be in the know. So it kind of tells you what it is. It has the link here to the commands that we just checked out, the chat commands, and it has here the orbital cargo drone level prices. So it goes from level 1 to level 7, level 1 being free and level 7 costing ridiculous amounts. It's not kind of like an intended for people to buy, especially not at this kind of stage of the game. And it shows you how many of an item you can store in relation to the level. So for free, when you first join the server, you will be able to store 7 different items and up to 100 of those items. So without doing anything, that's what you'll be able to do off the start. Of course, if you want to upgrade, you can use the in-game credits to do that, or like I did myself back when I used to play, I bought the premium donator package done through the donations page to get to level 5, which gives you 100 slots 100 different item slots that you can store, and you can store up to 700,000. And that's as it stands at the moment. Again, as the game develops and things, and as features develop, there's always subject to change, the limits and things, to make sure it's not too overpowered. If we were to, it wouldn't be something that would be kind of flung straight away. You'd get plenty of notice, and you wouldn't lose anything that you'd already stored in the OCD. It'd just be a case where perhaps you wouldn't be able to store any more up to that limit, because the last thing we really want is for people to hoard all the items in the OCD. It's there as kind of like a backup feature, not for a, you know, let's see how much I can store kind of thing. The next thing here we're looking at is the kind of cooldowns, and what that will make more sense, I kind of guess, when you jump in game. But just to give you a quick kind of overview, there are restrictions on when you can use the OCD, so when you can draw things out and when you can put things in. For example, you can't use it at all in PvP, so you won't be able to put anything in if you're under attack, or you won't be able to get anything out. You can only use it in play of the environment playfields, to ensure that obviously you're not just going to kind of run away if you're being attacked and store your stuff in your OCD. It's to give that still that competitive edge. And yeah, that's basically it. It's worth checking that out yourselves, so you can kind of get to grips with it before you jump in the game, really. So what I do now is I just go through kind of what we're looking at on the HWS Connect here. So the first thing, as you can see, it just says the level, so level 5. That will just reflect what level you are. On the left hand side, we've got the OCD slot, and I will, when we jump in game in a sec, I'll show you kind of how this kind of relates, because you can't actually change these around now, but I'll show you how you can arrange them in game to make things easy. This one here, the OCD get slot command, it will again make more sense when we jump in, but it just copies this command here, so then if you were to switch into game and to paste it, it just kind of saves you typing it. Okay, the next one is just the OCD item, so what item you've got, pretty self-explanatory, multi-tool, etc, epic sniper, it just tells you what the item is. The next one along is the quantity of that item, and the last one here is just an image. It's the in-game image, so you know what you've got. You might have noticed here that I've got some epic weapons that I've actually got in my OCD. You're unable to actually put epic weapons now in your OCD, but of course this was me putting them in when this kind of restriction was in place. So again, in the future, if we are to ever change things, we won't delete anything you have in here. It may just be a case where we can say, of course, you can grab items out of it, but you may not be able to store any more of the items. So if I drew all these 50 epic shotguns, then I wouldn't be able to put them back in the OCD. And again, like I said, it's just so we can kind of get the balance right, so it's not too kind of overpowered. But yeah, that's kind of the summary screen of the HWS Connect. When you first join, it will be empty, but as you kind of develop in the game and stuff, you'll see it start filling. So what we do now is we dive into the game, and I'll show you the commands and kind of how you can get it all functioning. Okay guys, so now I've jumped in game. I'll show you the commands you're going to want to use to get the most out of the OCD. So as you can see, first thing to point out here is in the hand slots 1 to 9 I have some items. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to assume that I haven't got a level 5 OCD. I'm going to kind of show you how to do it at the start, so you can ensure that you kind of organize your OCD so the items aren't random. So the first thing you're going to want to do, let's say, is to put something in your cargo drone. So the command for that in the faction chat, to ensure we don't spam the server with all the commands, is OCD, like so, the double dot put, same again, and then what I need to put in there is hand slot 1 to 9. So whatever I want to put in, and in this case it's going to be the multi-tool, I would put in 1. And then easy as that. And as you can see, that disappeared. Now, if I didn't have anything in my orbital cargo drone, and I was just a fresh player starting out, I would be able to use, I'll be able to store 7 items in my OCD. Now that would be put automatically in slot 1. So that's kind of how it works. Whatever order you put things in, that is the order they will appear. So when you go to withdraw it, I would have to choose slot 1. So again, we'll do it with the with the multi-tool charges. Again, same command, OCD, like so, put, and then 2. And it will put the multi-charges in. Now, when you're doing the put command like that, however many you have in that hand slot is the number you will put in. So, for example, if I didn't want to put in, let's say, 25 dual charges, I would just put, just adjust and choose however many, and then you just stick however many you want. So I just stick 12 back up there. So again, so that will now be in OCD slot 2 in the orbital cargo drone. So we'll go for the drill this time. So OCD, put, and hand slot 3. Again, instantaneously, that's now OCD slot 3. And one last time, OCD, put, and we'll put the 12 dual charges in. So like I said, guys, if I was a brand new player starting out, they would fulfill the one, that would be the first 4 slots of the cargo drone that I have available from the start. So I would have another 3 to use. Obviously I don't, I'm level 5, but that's just to kind of point out that. So what I'm going to show you now is a brand new command we've got that actually kind of makes a lot of the others maybe not as useful, including that one there, but that is the old school way of doing it. So the new command we have is quite simply OCD and then put, nothing else. And what you'll see now is it brings up this nice little kind of like your inventory kind of box, and all you do is quite literally just drag whatever you want to put in your OCD, and then when you're done you push send. So let's just say now that I didn't put those 4 things in, sorry, and I wanted to work out what slot number. It's done the same, so that's slot 1, it works across 2, 3, 4. So if I was to put, they're all iron ore, so that wouldn't make sense, but if I was to put, let's say that, sniper, and some rounds, that would be, if I had nothing else in my OCD, that would be slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4. Obviously I do, so it would fill up. But yeah, you can fill it up as much as you want, so you just drag and drop whatever it is you want to put in the OCD. You might want to put everything in, I might want to put a couple of those in, and then when you're done, just click send, and that will send it. Now what I will show you, I'll just get that command up again, so OCD put. If you put an epic sniper in there, for example, and you click send, please take these items out since your OCD has no more space. All these items are not allowed. So it's automatically learned if you cannot store an item because it is restricted or you have too many, it will not allow you to do it. So it is pretty cool. You're not going to end up losing things. So that's just to show you that. And again, the same would work if I was using the traditional OCD put and then the hand slot. So that is the main OCD kind of put command you're gonna use, so to put things in your orbital cargo drone. There is one more OCD put command, and that's OCD put all, and exactly as you'd imagine, it puts everything that is eligible to be put in the OCD into the OCD. Achilles, sorry, please upgrade to level 6 to store valuable stuff in OCD. Yeah, so again, because it's unable to store the epic sniper, it's just telling me that I need to upgrade. So yeah, they're the put commands that you're going to want to use. Generally, the OCD put command is maybe something you'd use when you're first starting off, because you can store 7 items, your inventory. But as you kind of progress in the game, maybe it's not something you want to use, but it's entirely down to the player. So they are the OCD put commands, so to put things in the orbital cargo drone. So now we're going to have a look at if I wanted to grab something out of the cargo drone, and similar kind of command, OCD this time, and we're going to get. There's not a feature yet for OCD get. You have to put OCD get, and then what you need to do now is the slot number. So I know, and this is where you need to cross-reference like we'd already looked at with the HWS Connect. So you can know what is in the OCD, so you know what you're grabbing out. And that copy button that they had in the HWS Connect, that can just be copied and pasted. If you go to an item and then just click copy, you can paste it and it will have, for example, OCD get 5 or 25. But for now, I know, luckily enough, what's in the OCD. So OCD, I'm going to get slot 1, and then, like so, need to then put how many of that item you want to get out. So I want to get 1, and I know that that's a multi tool. So that's how you do the OCD get command. So I just do it again, OCD get, and this time I want to get some charges, and I know charges, some multi-tool charges are in 2, and I want to get 15 of those. And again, straight away. This time, maybe I want to get my drill. So OCD get 3, and then 1 of those drills, and then again OCD get, and I want to get 4 because I know 4 is the drill charges, and I want to get 15 of those. So this is where it kind of really does help out, and as you kind of do play the game more on the server, you will start to know where things are in your OCD to make things nice and easy to grab. So yeah, that's the OCD get command. The only other OCD get command you can have, and this isn't something you'd really want to use later on in game, it's kind of something you'd use early on, and it's it's OCD get and then all. And again, it does exactly what you'd imagine. It would, or will try to grab everything that you have in your OCD. Now, like I said, if you're a player that's been playing for a long time and you have a lot in your OCD, of course you won't be able to fit everything in your backpack. So it'll grab as much as it can, and then you just have to keep putting things away, and then keep doing that. So it's not something that you'd really use later on in game. But if you're starting out and you've only got a few things in the OCD, like a backpack's full of different things, like 7 items or so, 15 different items, then yeah, by all means it's something you could use then. And then yeah, I just put everything away. So OCD put, and then all, one by one hopefully. Did I do that right? OCD put all. Sometimes there can be a slight delay like that when it puts it in. It's not to worry. It's quite a big server, and when I think we've got 132 on at the moment, so when there is a high load, things can take a little while. Everyone wanted to use the system, and again, it's just popped with that little message there to show that I can't put the epic weapon in. So as far as the OCD get, so to actually communicate with the OCD, that's basically it. The only other thing you can do is just put the OCD info in here, and it just shows me there current slots 100. If I go to global, it just has some details here in blue. OCD player, OCD info Achilles, current level 5, current slots 100. That's something you can look at on the HWS, so it's not something that you really need to use now. Yeah, other than that, guys, they're the basic commands you're going to want to use on the OCD. And like I've touched on already, there are the restrictions. At the moment, I'm in PvE, which is cool. I can use my OCD no problem. If I was to step into a PvP playfield, I wouldn't be able to use the OCD at all. I wouldn't be able to get anything or put anything. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. So I hope this video helped. Just check out the last couple important bits at the end of the video. Other than that, I hope you enjoy it.